money drug, I won't think about you, speak about you. Show my love when it come out to the people I'm from you. Money killing shit, she won't inside her kiss. Touch it, I just catch it, I'm a quarterback. Let's show no love, got me what you want. Niggas, they search me, couldn't catch me.
Welcome to Life Talk 21, the show designed to motivate you, to inspire you, and to give you strategies to help you live in the 21st century. And not just live, but I want you to be successful. And I'm your host, Eric Wortham. And today, real briefly, we're going to talk about a subject. Change is difficult, but it's often necessary. Change is difficult, but it's often necessary. It's hard to change. Number one, because we already have these built-in tendencies and desires, habits that we've developed over the years. And when you've been doing something for a long time, it's hard to kind of like temper that. It really is. And it requires a lot of discipline, but that's a good thing because discipline is a great thing. Once you can get to a point to where, you can I call it being in the middle, because that's where I am. I'm more naturally drawn to the middle, and I've been like that all my life, even though I've been influenced heavily by the left, obviously, because that's the kind of environment we came up in, and we came up fighting in that for that party. Now the other side, I've always more identified what used to be conservatism, what used to be in this lower government, not no government, but lower government, because it's extremes on that side too, But that's the thing, that makes it difficult, because you have these two things. But I've always been a person that's been kind of like in the middle, because I can see both sides of situations, and you want to get there. You are closer to that, because most of the time you're going to always lean to one side or other, but you don't want to. The extreme is where we are now. That's the problem. It's on both sides, it's all the way to the extreme. And then you have those that don't care at all, but it's all extreme. And you don't have enough middle people. So I believe that balance, being a balanced individual, is the true goal that we should be trying to get in. I believe that's God's system as well, because you can look at it, and God, by the way, is systematic. He set up some wonderful systems. Inside of this body is, just dozens of systems going on, while I'm talking to you right now. So he sets up those systems. And so the more balanced we are, try to get, it's going to cause us to make some changes, because, some of us always say confrontational, but, I guess it's just an easy one to explain a little bit, simpler, but people that are confrontational, that are on the extreme end, the high confrontational end, for them to change, it's going to require them to, first of all, self-assess. And remember, we talked about the last time how we work the how. We be honest with ourselves. We're open and we're willing. We got to be honest with ourselves. And even when things don't look the way we want them to, we have to be able to look at the facts and say, man, maybe I can do something with that. That's the first thing. You have to come to terms with that. And then it's going to require a lot of discipline, because if you're confrontational, then you're going to have to start paying attention to times when you are. And like I've always said, most people don't know their tendencies and preferences well enough to be able to do it in the first place. That's why I do personality, and that's why I do a lot of those in the live show, because I want people to know themselves. Because if you don't know yourself, that's the first problem. You can't change. You don't know why you do the things that you do. And I'm not saying to a perfect T, but you can get to a point where you understand. I think that's what helped me and my wife be together for 35 years. Because you get to that point, to where you understand. And it's not now about trying to win. It's about now understanding is the goal, not my way right, your way right. And then two, understanding tendencies, each other's tendencies, and knowing that those things that they're doing, they don't mean to sabotage the relationship. It's just a part of who they are. And when you can arm with that information, then it's easier to compromise. The key word that it's going to take to last in any relationship, work, school, compromise. You have to be able to collaborate. That's the big word that everybody's using, but it is key. You have to be able to talk to people. Jesus talked to people. He did. Wasn't rude to him. He talked to him. But the bottom line is, the key for us to be able to change is, one, we have to know why we do the things that we do. And so change is going to cause us to be able to do that. And so now when we know why we're doing it, now we can come up with a strategy to learn how not to do it as much. Like if I'm confrontational, again, not picking on you, but I need to know that, and I'm going to know it whether I accept it or not, but I'm going to know it, because everybody that I know I've had an argument with more than once, you probably confrontational. That didn't come out right, but it's true. It's true. If you are a person that you always see, this is what I've learned. Somebody told me this years ago. I don't even know, maybe TV, somebody. But they say if it happens one time, then maybe it's just, it's just a chance type thing. But 3 times, if you had problems with that person, one time, but then if you go into 3 other things and it's still happening, then it's a good chance that I may be confrontational. The other person may be too, which makes it even harder, because somebody got to be non-confrontational. That's why I say you got to learn how to be toward the middle. Being confrontational is not bad. It's not bad. People don't want to be identified with that because they think it's bad. It's a good trait, because you are the ones that we need on our team to when it's time to negotiate, because you're going to stick to your guns and you're going to let your stuff be heard. We need that. But again, got to be balanced. Even those that are too non-confrontational, they don't help either, because they don't contribute anything, because they're going to be by themselves. They're going to stay out of it totally. And so that's why I say balance, and since that's where we want to go, change is difficult because we don't know, first of all, who we are. We don't know our tendencies, our preferences. why we do the things that we do well enough to be able to deal with other people, the right way, in a respectful way. Sometimes we we go simply by tradition, things that was just passed down and not really, we don't know if it worked or not because we never tested it. We just accepted things. And when you get to that point anyway, it's going to be a right or wrong, and that's the problem. Everybody wants to be right, and that means somebody got to be wrong. But for me, it's not right or wrong because most things don't end up being that way. It's preference. You prefer this, you prefer that, and you came up in that because some people didn't come up the way you did. And so they think and see some things differently. And so to get to the point to where we respect those people as well and not devalue them, because that's how we lose our kids a lot of time. I'm guilty, is because we were in that do as I say generation. Not as I do, but what I say. And you don't have to give a reason. I am the reason. So because we come from that type generation, it's going to be even more difficult for us to change. And I'm going to have to end this because, I want to say something that I thought was funny. I recently acquired COVID. Yes, finally it got me. I've been the one that's been saying everybody in the family got it but me, and I often bragged about that, and guess what? Your boy ended up getting COVID. yeah. But I'm gonna be honest with you, man. This is the surprising thing to me. It was pretty minor, man. It was. I mean, I didn't really I had a little headache a couple days, and I had a sore throat, like a stretch. Nothing major though, But this is how it was though. I was able to watch 4 seasons of Stranger Things because I've been hearing, people talk about this show, man, and it's been #1. I say, man, I was able to see 4 seasons in one sitting. That's how. So COVID was pretty good to me. I mean, I'm not saying it's good, but it was pretty good in that situation for me, man, because I was in the bed, man, and I had my wife got the little back pillow that you can sit up on in the bed, and I was like, watching the Stranger Things. I don't get a chance to do that a lot. So, and I told my wife, I swear, COVID did me way, way, way better than that second vaccine and that first and last booster that I would ever take. Those things, I was down for 2 days. I couldn't do anything for 2 days. After the shot, now the vaccine, that was, and I'll still take it. I agree that I take it, because that's probably why it was good to me this time. But, I did, I had the shot. But after that shot, for 2 days, I could not do anything. That's why I say I couldn't watch 4 seasons of, Stranger Things. From the shot, the vaccine, and the first booster. I couldn't, man. I mean, I was asleep. Somebody come check on me, I'd go right back. That's for 2 straight days. That's how the second vaccine and #1 booster of the last booster that I ever take. That's how it did me. So, COVID was pretty good to me. I mean, it was because I'm introverted anyway, so spending time to myself, I just don't get to do it much, right? So it was right up my alley because I was doing okay, man. I wasn't that bad. This is the funny thing, though. Everybody was like, they'll come check on me through the window to the bedroom door. They just come to the door, and my son would come and say, "Dad, you good?" Give me a thumbs up. I give him, "Yeah, I'm good, man." Thumbs. But they wouldn't come in the room. And rightfully so, because I'm quarantined, right? And my wife, she come with her comeback ready to bring me some food, like those little handoff things with her COVID gear on, But, they pretty much didn't come past the door. Even my grandbaby, Erin, man, I was trying to figure out, man, how am I going to keep that girl from coming in here? Because she always, G-Dad, G-Dad, G-Dad. That's who I am to her, G-Dad. She say that name a lot, too much. But I'm like, how am I going to keep this girl from coming in? But even she was looking at this mask I got on, and I guess she was looking at her dad and her grandma, Mimi, saying, they didn't step in the door, and she was like, she gave me the queen wave at the door. So I was like, oh my goodness, but it was fine with me, because as soon as they check on me, I get right back to Stranger Things. So I was able, COVID was good to me. I thought that was really, really funny, man, because I really didn't have much symptoms at all. But the second vaccine and the first part of that last booster that I ever take damn near killed me. That's the bottom line. I'm Eric Worthing. Remember, be all you can be by doing all you can do. All right. Let's do it. I hate when I have those things go on, but I am going to edit that out of there. I am. Here we go. Ha, 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 hey, yep.
Till I had a dream about you. I had a dream you was me, so I had to keep it at you. On the drug, I won't think about you, speak about you. Show my love when it come out to the people I'm from you. Only killing shit, she won't inside her castle. Till I had to catch you, I'ma call you back. Had to fast, show no love, got it back. Yeah, they sound you, call me cats. She